Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for always supporting this channel. There was a day that a friend of mine was telling me that the relationship between Uhuru and Raila is not a business partnership, but it's more of a father-son relationship. The age gap between Raila and Uhuru is nearly 18 to 20 years. And when they came together and they spoke about the need to bring this country together and undo what, according to them, their grandfathers had done, I think people took it lightly and it was politicized that it is just coming together for convenience, while other people looked at it as a wider scheme to betray Deputy President William Ruto. But when I saw Mama Ngina Kenyatta attending a funeral, and in a lengthy speech, in fact, I've listened to the other part of the speech, a lengthy speech, telling the Gema Nation that they need to follow what President Uhuru Kenyatta is telling them. And President Uhuru Kenyatta is telling Gema to support Raila Odinga. She was telling them that it is time for them to do what Uhuru is telling them, because Uhuru is their son and Uhuru can mislead them. So the conversation has been centered around why Mama Ngina is playing an active role in politics. This is not new, because I have seen Mama Ida is also doing active campaigns, and actually Mama Ida has been in active campaign since 2007. She's the founder of ODM Reloaded and other women lobby groups within the ODM party. So when Mama Ngina campaigned, it really caused a lot of uproar because people thought that this is not something that she was supposed to do. Well, in this video, we're going to look at why she is joining the campaign trail. And I can tell you straight in my eye. I can tell you straight. In 2013 and 2017, when own son, President Uhuru Kenyatta, was on the ballot seeking presidency, Mama Ngina Kenyatta was behind the scenes. She never campaigned on ground, even though in 2013, remember, Uhuru was facing off and Uhuru was seeking presidency for the first time. Mama Ngina was never there. So this morning I was talking to someone who was telling me that if you remember the Madimon story, where Mama Ngina, Uhuru had planned to endorse Mudavadi presidency. The person who was stopping Uhuru, who was believing that Uhuru should not seek presidency because first he was still young, and two, because of the ICC cases, was their own mother, Mama Ngina Kenyatta. So the people who changed the tides was another group of Kiambu Mafia, who came out now to feel like, look here, it is time for one of our own to inherit the presidency. And their worry was, if Uhuru would have supported Mudavadi, Mudavadi had a likelihood of making sure that Raila wins. Actually, Uhuru was given that ticket, and the deal was crafted with Ruto to block Raila Odinga, because Raila would beat Mudavadi pants down. So what exactly happened? I want to give you a second to listen to Mama Ngina's speech. It is typically in Kikuyu, and it is deep, and she looks very calm. So I want you to listen to that so that when we come back, we look at the other aspect of this.
Ati kulingana na uria mundu areretwo gwake mucii ona ngiumagara guthie in public ndangihota kurumana ikiuge aria acio mararumana tukumatiga oro uguo angĩkorwo irumi icio nĩ ũrĩa marutirwo magĩkũra. Reke mwĩre ithuĩ tũgerie kwendana bũrũri-inĩ witũ na tũtwarithie maũndũ ma bũrũri na mbere, na mũmenye na kũrĩa mũrorete, na mũtongoria wanyu ndangĩhota kũmuonia kũrĩa njĩra ĩrĩa ĩtagĩrĩire. Ndĩmwĩre mũthiĩ na mbere kũmenya atĩ mũtĩgĩtina harĩa mũndũ aikaire nĩwe gwĩkĩrĩa thambo irĩaga, na ndarĩ na ũru, no ningĩ ũngĩkĩonio ũru nĩ ũrĩa mũnyinyi waku-rĩ, wagĩtindania nake githĩ tũthiĩ na mbere. Rĩu ndĩkĩmwĩre kũrĩa aramuonia mũrore kuo, na ndamũcokeria ngatho mũno nĩ ũndũ wa gũka kumagaria my cousin. Thank you.
When Mama Ngina speaks, you see the Kenyatta family. Actually, the spokesperson, the most senior spokesperson of the Kenyatta family is Mama Ngina Kenyatta, not President Uhuru Kenyatta. So when she speaks, you see the voice of Kenyatta family. When Mama Ngina speaks, you see the deep state. She is, by default, part of the deep state. And number 4, I think Mama Ngina is also the most senior woman. She was the first lady of the Republic of Kenya. This is a voice that you cannot underestimate. And I am looking at how the William Ruto team are going to react. I have seen online, they have gone berserk against Mama Ngina. And let me just ask you people, when the team, the Central Kenya team went to Thika and tried to abuse Uhuru and the family, and I think when I did that analysis, I asked here, how would Uhuru Kenyatta's family react to this? Finally, they are reacting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this analysis and you have not yet subscribed, kindly take a second and subscribe. And also click the notification bell so that when we publish a video, you will always be notified. And please give this video a thumbs up. I know I've been away for, I think, a day. And of course, we are now picking up from where we left it. I had to move to some other place, and that's why maybe there's a bit of the echo. But again, job has to go on. Now, Mama Ngina is being forced to come to this politics because of none other than Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. Maybe people are looking at it that she is campaigning for Raila Odinga. I don't think she is doing this because of Raila Odinga campaigns. She is coming to this limelight because of none other than William Ruto. And if Mama Ngina's influence is going to change the tide in favor of Raila Odinga, then DP Ruto will have to blame herself because of her confrontational politics. She was, Ruto was speaking away with everyone, and even untouchables. She went to Gatundu, and I think in all those campaigns, she's been talking, he's been talking about prayer rallies, but he has never mentioned, and he went there and told the Gatundu people that, look here, we were prayed here with Uhuru, by Uhuru's mother. Understand? So, he is the person who has smoked out Mama Ngina from the groups. Now, number one, why Mama Ngina is coming is this. And this, many people are not saying, Ruto's coziness with Wanjigi. Ruto is very cozy with Wanjigi. And the coziness with Wanjigi is this way. If you listen to that, that NDC, Safina NDC, I think Jim Wanjigi is taking credit for forming that government. And taking that credit from that government, he seems to be the person who had everything to it. And now Uhuru, and you know Uhuru doesn't want to hear anything of Jim Wanjigi. So what is happening is, Jim Wanjigi is now with Ruto, and he is siding with William Ruto the truth of what happened between him and the government, the Jubilee government, the first time is there was business interest and then deals that maybe he didn't get. But now he sides with Ruto and seems he wants to say that Uhuru was the problem. And that is why William Ruto, he didn't have a problem with Uhuru, but there's a problem with William Ruto. So one thing that happens is, seems there are leakages that they are getting, that William Ruto is getting, when Ngina now is getting the leakages, and these leakages might be used against the government now as a propaganda tool. Because the truth of the matter here is, Jimmy was part of the deep state that formed that government, and Mama Ngina is part of it. Now, that is what Jimmy and Ngina did between Uhuru and Raila, maybe the funding and all that. But there is that Mama Ngina did between Mama Ngina, Uhuru, and Ruto. It is in public domain here that Uhuru Kenyatta approached William Ruto. And there is a rumor that money was exchanged. So what is happening? The coming of Mama Ngina is going to raise the stakes high. And if this closeness is going on, I think even William Ruto now feel like if Mama Ngina comes to the limelight, it is a bit of skeptical. He's going to be skeptical. What can she say next? Is she going to say that she paid me money? So her coming up, I can tell you, is something that Ruto is not going to face. That's number one. Number two, Ruto's closeness with Jimmy Wanjigi is also smoking out family, because you know there is a Kiambu Mafia that is working with the likes of the Moses Kuria to break down Kenyatta family. According to them, I want to believe there are Kiambu Mafias that think if Uhuru goes home, that will be the end of Kenyatta family. And Kenyatta family also had business interests. So the reason why Mama Ngina is up here is to protect Kenyatta family. Her interest is to protect Kenyatta family from these attacks. When she's now out, we want to see whether Moses Kuria is now coming out to attack even Mama Ngina, because what is happening here is these people had been attacking, attacking Uhuru's mother all along. And now when Uhuru's mother is out in public, is she going to be attacked? That would be very detrimental to them. That is number one. Number two, I want to believe that the oathing nonsense by Uhuru, by Moses Kuria is something that is bringing Mama Ngina out. Because that oath, and that is why she's coming, there are people that have owned up that, okay, the truth is there was an oath that happened. Because it happened after Kenyatta had an altercation with Jaramogi in Kisumu. Then the other time, I think it was like the following Monday or the following week it happened. So it happened. But there are people who now feel when Moses Kuria says that curse is going to befall Uhuru Kenyatta. So there are some old fellows who are buying into that narrative. So when Mama Ngina, person the stature of Mama Ngina comes out to speak, she's going to, when she dispels it, it's now going to sink. And do you know, guys, that I've listened to that part. The oath was two. One was just, it was just for that moment. Just like now you can go to Kisumu and take an oath that you're not going to vote for William Ruto, and it is for the moment. That is it. It was a political oath. It was not a community oath. And two, I'm told there were two oaths. There was one oath that was also saying that leadership was not going beyond River Chania. I will do that analysis sometime back. So I don't think. So Mama Ngina is coming to dispel it. When she's in public, I think that oath then says, the people who buy that oath then says, look here, the family is not worried about this thing. So this thing is a Moses Kuria affair. Number three, I think Mama Ngina is the voice of women. She's the senior most woman in this country, as I mentioned. So when she speaks, the women are gonna hear. And the women of South Kenya, the women of this country are gonna hear. In fact, Central Kenya, I believe that the women of Central Kenya is going to listen to her. If there is a place where there is that incarnation, Central Kenya had that incarnation, and they believe that Mama Ngina is the incarnation of Kenyatta. And these people fought, and so Mama Ngina is one person they can listen to. And I believe the other reason tactically is to convince the central Kenya women, Gema women. Now, lastly, Mama Ngina is deep state. Deep state. So this is coming at a time when Murathe is telling you that whether you vote Raila or not, he will be the fifth president. Mama Ngina is representing that state. Mama Ngina is representing that voice. That whether you become the president, whether you vote in Uhuru, whether you vote in Raila or not, he's going to be the president. So I think he's going to add into that voice, and it is something that must worry the other side. Because there is something that he knows, that she knows, that maybe no one else knows. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my analysis, and you can also tell us here why she's coming into the limelight.